What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bustin' Balls. I'm your host, Eric Pennell. I'm here with the very funny Mike Pickerl, huh?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, dude, finally, man. I met this guy. He came out to a fucking Joliet open mic that I ran like a year ago that was shitty, and he was like one of the only comics that showed up, and he's fucking down. So,
hell yeah.
Dude, thanks for coming out, man.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So hold on here. So I want to talk about how you said that somebody, before the podcast we started, you said somebody tried to sell you drugs and a gun on the internet, which sounds FBI as fuck, man.
Yeah. So basically this past weekend, I was like just on Instagram. I was like doing mics and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was on Sunday. I was doing mics. Some guy I don't know.
Yeah. So you don't even know who this dude is.
No fucking idea.
Yeah.
Follows me. But like that happens all the time on like Facebook, Instagram. You get comedians and
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
That follow you. Usually I just hit follow back out of reflex.
Of course. That's how thirsty, for people that don't know that aren't a bit like trying to be an entertainment, that's how thirsty an entertainer will be, where they just accept everybody.
Yes,
like I got a wife that's like a regular citizen, and she looks at me like, you accept that person? I go, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. But okay, so that type of person jumped into your life.
Yeah. So, and then I didn't do any research into it. Just hit follow back.
Well, who would?
Exactly.
Like, I think there's even a crazier person in my head, which I see how other people would think that's reasonable, where you go in and research that person. Unless there's like a red flag on the profile where it's like, who the fuck is this person?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but you're not going to go into research and follow.
No, I mean, I have the time to do that. I'm not that busy of a guy, but like, I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to fight my own sense of internalized narcissism, where I'm just like, why would anybody want to like try to scam me online? So I should just hit follow back.
Okay, so then how's it go down?
So basically,
how do you open that up? How does he open up a gun and a drug?
So it started with the gun. So basically,
what kind of gun do you say?
It was like a pink 9mm. I deleted. Yeah, I deleted the chat, so I don't have any of the stuff.
I'm sure it's on some
up,
fucking cloud somewhere.
Yeah, I know, but
right.
So he had posted some just like innocuous like message or whatever.
Yeah.
I assume it was him and not somebody else. Just saying like, hey, what's up, everybody? You know, stay good, stay up, stay blessed. All this kind of random stuff. I just hit like just because whatever. Yeah. And then I must have been the only person that had hit like this day, because like within 2 minutes of hitting like on this post, I got a message saying like, hey, I got a hot gun here, $250, your best offer.
Yeah.
And
that's a pretty good price on a gun, but
yeah,
because you said 9mm.
Yeah.
Well, I bought a black 9mm not too long ago.
Okay.
But not pink. And I paid way more than that. But that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I'm assuming this wasn't a buyers can be choosers kind of thing. So you know, like. Yeah, I'm not in the market for a gun. I'm not a huge gun guy. Nothing against people.
Sure, no, dude.
But like,
no, you're not insulting me if that's what you're fucking getting at.
The sketchier thing was that he wanted to do all this shit over the mail. So like,
which sounds even more of a crime, right? Because once you do things over mail,
it's federal.
It's federal, right? Because I just know about like if you buy drugs like through the mail, I think that's a problem, right? Because then if it goes state lines and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. This guy's a Fed big time. You know what's messed up? He probably wasn't. He's just a moron. But I would assume there are Feds that get paid to do shit like that. Wouldn't you think?
Oh, I'm sure there have to be. I mean, like, and to sucker gullible people like me.
Yeah.
Or if they
go, $250. It's pink. My wife wanted a pink one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let me cash app you that.
Yeah, Valentine's Day was just came up. So, yeah.
Valentine's Day. Right, flowers, candy, and a pink used gun on the table.
Gun. Yeah, there
and
you
a
go.
Card.
What does it say about our relationship, honey? All right.
Okay, so all right, he's offering guns and stuff.
So he's offering guns. So like, I don't know why I even responded to this guy. I'm just like, no thanks.
Yeah,
I just
said out of
my Midwestern politeness, I'm just like, no thank you.
Yeah.
Then he replies back to me, well, what are you looking for? And I don't know why I entertain this. Well, to preface, I am a recovering drug addict. So so I don't know why I entertain this for a moment, other than the fact that maybe he's got guns. You know, maybe he's got drugs.
He's got all the goods.
He's got all the goods.
Yeah.
So he's like
all the fixins.
And then maybe 30 seconds later, he sends me back a video of some Peruvian flake cocaine.
Yeah, he's a cop. He's a Fed. That's something that's... Why? Who the fuck? Or it's like an ex-girlfriend that hates you or something like that, where it's like, he's a scumbag. I'm going to show his Aunt Mary this. You know, like that's...
Man.
No, I'm not saying it, but that's how fucking some crazy chicks think, too, where they're like, look... early 2022, he would have bought a pink gun off me and some Peruvian flake.
I don't know
He's
if
still
I would,
a piece of shit. I told you.
I don't know if I would give my exes that much credit, but man, if they
no, but
did,
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
respect, yeah,
there's
no,
crazy people like that
I feel you.
that you dated. You. So that no kidding. So and it wasn't like do you think that was like a real shit on the table, or is that like a screenshot from the best Google picture he could find?
I don't know where you got this video from. It looked pretty legit, but like
oh, it's like a video.
Yeah, it was like a video of like him breaking up the cocaine.
That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Hold on here. Side note though, the one thing, I'm an older guy, man. I'm 46, man, and the one thing that I noticed about drug dealers in like the last so many years. Back in the day, I felt like drug dealers, it was always known, don't talk dirty over the phone, don't talk. Nowadays, it's the fucking complete opposite. They're showing shit on social media. I don't get it.
Have you ever been on Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, but I'm looking for like fucking like used trucks.
Yeah, people sell drugs on Facebook Marketplace.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
How do you search that?
I think you just look
like
up
what,
drugs.
Is that it? That really comes up?
I've never searched
I'm always
for
looking
it,
for like dump trailers and like F-250s. You know what I'm saying? But like fucking you just type in.
But I'm sure
like,
there's some
code
words you can use to get your shit to pop up.
But dude, back in the day, it was like real fucking don't talk dirty over the phone. I know a couple drug dealers over the last years. They're talking where like when I see them later, I pull like in person, I pull them aside and say, hey, dude. Like, don't talk like that over the phone. Like, not even just to me. I'm saying for you. Yeah. Eventually, it's going to blow up in your face, maybe, or something like that. But so okay, so this is like a modern guy that's showing you proof. So what did you say after that?
I got a little bit horny. I'm not gonna lie. I got a little bit. Is
that tickling you a little bit?
Well, yeah, because I'm a recovering addict, you know. So like,
yeah.
It's like I do my best, you know. Like the good thing and bad thing about doing the comedy is that a lot of it happens in the city, right?
Yeah.
But in the city was where I used to cop.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time.
Yeah, because you're at bars, you're doing shows at bars and
Exactly.
stuff like that. You're hanging with like-minded people.
Yeah.
You know, somebody in the crowd has some good shit, or this dude's a dealer. Like, there's always in the comedy scene. There's always like a couple dealers.
Yeah.
There's always, or there's guys that hang out with the comedians. That's a dealer.
Yeah.
Because they know where the market's
Yeah.
at.
I mean, most of the shit I was doing, because like I was doing like. Can I be frank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we were doing like I mean, most of the stuff I was doing, like I'm a recovering junkie, heroin addict, and like crack addict. You know, those are my two.
Boy,
things.
you call yourself a junkie. I would think like a recovering guy wouldn't say junkie because it's like it's like a negative towards you. Where
I guess
because I wouldn't call you a junkie. Like I wouldn't say, oh, he's a fucking junkie, because then I feel like I'm like looking down on you and shit like that, and that's like derogatory or something.
I'm just so used to like making fun of myself. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really. I don't. It's to me. It's not a pejorative. It's just a descriptor. You know what I mean?
So before we get to that, then, if you want to talk about that, so how does this end with this guy where they're showing you videos of fucking Peruvian flake and stuff and wants to sell you a pink gun?
So I'm just like, you know, I just started telling him. I'm just like. He's like, you know, man, I'll ship to you real good stuff, and I'm just like,
God.
Where are you? What are you talking about? Like, I'm not doing anything. Like, one, I'm in recovery.
Yeah.
Two, I'm not gonna ship stuff like through FedEx across like state lines.
Yeah.
And then he starts like hitting me with the like, oh, please don't tell the cops, please don't tell the cops all this shit.
Yeah.
And then so I'm just like, no, man, it's all good. I'm not telling.
Nobody's
the cops
gonna tell the
shit.
cops, but if this is legit, the cops are gonna find out regardless.
Exactly.
You're a freaking moron, dude.
Exactly.
And I get it. I mean, there are smart, obviously, dude. There's smart drug dealers and stuff, but this guy ain't one of the savviest. You know what I'm saying?
No,
especially if you're trying to sell guns and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he ain't going through the right channels on that of like putting it in your name too.
Hell no.
Right?
No, this thing's hot as shit. It looks like shit had filed off of it. There's like pink flakes and stuff next
Dude,
to it. Where he
my
filed off the
stepdad
serial
that I
number.
grew up with, man, he was legit with like you know, like a gun owner and stuff like that. And I was young. I didn't pay attention to like exactly the play-by-play on this. But there was one time where of his life when I was probably like 14, 12, 13, 14 years old, where he was buying guns and doing something to them, like refurbishing them or something like that. But I'm talking like modern guns. These weren't these weren't like vintage. And buying them somewhere cheaper, putting them together and stuff like that, and selling them.
That's cool.
Cool. No fucking lie, dude. The fucking feds knock on his door within probably, I don't know, a year and a half. Go into his fucking job.
Oh,
and
wow.
Interviewing everybody at the fucking job. They were trying to pin on him that he's in a fucking militia. He was in no fucking militia. He's just a fucking gun
just a
guy.
collector,
A regular taxpayer and shit like that. Not even no hidden shit or nothing like that. Yeah. But dude, they literally he fucking and this sounds fake too, but this is true language that was said, was when he was leaving his job. He was a body man. He worked at a body shop. It wasn't like he worked at like a fucking, you know, intel, you know, or something like that. He literally was leaving the body shop one day, and he said he came home and he told my mom, his wife, he goes, somebody took there was a car, like I don't know if it was one or two guys, but they took a picture of me when I was leaving the fucking, and this is before cell phone cameras, dude.
Wow.
Like, they took a picture of me.
Hard to miss.
And then my mom goes, like, basically was like, you're fucking, like, John, you're crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he's like, no, somebody took a picture of me. And within probably a day or two, they were interviewing everybody at the fucking body shop. And what it was there was a chick, some big fucking lesbian softball playing broad that used to be out there and be one of the guys with them. It was one of the guys, and something had a fallen out with maybe the owner of the place. I mean, nothing big, like just I don't know what happened with the bad blood. She fucking reported everybody there saying this, that, and, and then he was, and I guess he's the one that maybe that they go, yeah, that guy's more of our speed.
Okay,
nothing happened with it and stuff like that, but. Anyways, dude. So yeah. So, but that guy's gonna get caught regardless if he's doing that type of shit. That's fucked up, dude.
And it's a federal.
That's
crime.
a weird.
Like
that's a weird one. I can see where like there's like chicks trying to offer you puss on the internet and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I've never had that experience.
I've never had that experience either. You know, dude. You know what I was talking about to somebody is when sex is like with women. You ever have a woman offer you like something sexual or like get kind of flirty with you?
No,
when it's too really.
No, I'm just kidding.
Where it's so easy, it's suspicious. You ever had that before? I remember years. It's happened a few times where I've had a couple women. When I was younger, it was like a young woman. You know, I was probably like 18, 19, 20 years old, and she was so fucking forward with me, and she was cute. That it was almost like, no, thank you. Something's up with this. It felt like entrapment.
Yeah,
like where it's like that. You know,
you always got to go with your gut in case
it's almost like the internet thing. Is what I'm saying. When it's too easy, something's up with this. This is entrapment or something like that.
Well, yeah, and when it comes to women, it's like if it's too easy, you don't even want it. But you know, I don't know.
Dude, did you ever mess with this? I mean, what you probably would have done was like Silk Road, right? Like Silk Road, or remember that website where you could buy fucking drugs and stuff? They caught that guy. And
I've heard about that, but no, I've never. Like, for me, it was always like one. I'm not going to do anything over the mail because like I want to get my shit right away. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't want. I can't. Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah. You know, like if I'm trying to get rid of my sick, you know, like. I can't wait for that shit to.
Is that what you call it? Like I've heard that before. So you call it sick because what, you're sick, and that's like, almost like getting rid of it.
That's when you're talking about heroin and stuff. It's like because like you actually physically get sick from not doing it.
Dude, so. This is one dumb question. So when you started doing heroin, my only question with heroin people and like meth people and stuff is, didn't you know that this was like it's bad stuff, right?
Yeah, but I didn't care.
You didn't care?
No.
Yeah, because that's my thought. Where it's like, you know, and it's not even a joke. I mean, it's not, it'd be hacky to say it anyways. But it's like I've always thought. Like nobody ever said. And then once I started doing heroin, boom, I became the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Like it never, because it seems like it's a bad. It's going to go bad. It's going to go bad. Where most people would just. So why? You just didn't care.
I just didn't care.
What age? What age was it then?
The first time I did heroin, I was 17.
So that helps.
Yeah.
You're just so fucking young.
Yeah. And part of it is like, I mean,
you're naive a little bit too.
Naive. You don't want to admit to that. You have like that childhood invincibility thing going on, but that's definitely part of it. But like, I knew from the first time I smoked weed that like, no matter what the drug was, I wanted to be high all the time. Yeah. I'm not saying like weed's a gateway drug because I don't really believe that, but like, I don't know if I believe that.
It could be something because, dude, the reason, there's a few reasons why I never touch hard stuff, and it's one reason is I've said this before on this podcast. My childhood hero, my stepdad, his one of his best buddies was my childhood hero. This guy fucking he was. Dude, looked like a Ken doll, blonde hair, always had a fucking hot chick, drove a Porsche in like 1985 and like a nice, made a fucking shitload of money, had a great house in the best neighborhood in the community. Yeah. Got hooked on coke and lost everything. Man. And I remember as a little dude, like I loved that guy up until he died just a couple years ago, man. He had a rough life after so many years. But I remember seeing that when I was like 12, and there was always something in my head, like where it was like, because dude, he ended up working at fucking Red Lobster, like lost everything, dude, lost everything. And I seen that, and I also have drug addiction in my family. And every guy in my family, whether they like hearing this or not, has been an alcoholic besides me. I should have been alcoholic probably 3 times. For some reason, I know how to put the gas on, let it off.
Good for you, man.
So far. But then, time's not up yet, man. Yeah. But that's the first thought that I have where it's like, why fucking touch it? But if you're 17, you don't know what lightning bolt you're jumping on either, man.
Exactly.
That's part of the problem.
And you don't when you're 17. I haven't built a life to lose. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? I was, about to go into college, and when I first did it, I wasn't doing it regularly.
Yeah.
As soon as the first time I did it.
What, snorting it?
I started snorting it. Yeah, that's how I started.
Which one of your friends? Not your names, but did you have a friend that said, "Hey, you like doing this? Let's do this."
Yes.
Who brought it to you? Was it a friend or you just bumped into it?
I was actually with some friends. I was hanging out with some friends, and we were supposed to go to this play in the city. And we were running really late for the play, so we missed the play. We pulled
a heroin story that starts with we were going to a play in the city.
We were going to a play in the city.
Oh my God!
Yeah, this is 100%
we were going
real.
to a play in the city, and we bumped into some heroin.
We were going
that is hilarious.
I'm not joking at all.
What play in the city were you going to?
I have no idea. I don't even remember.
This is hilarious. I can't believe this.
So we pulled into a 7-Eleven at one point, and at this time I was unfamiliar with the city, so I would have no idea where this is now.
Sure.
But some guy just offered it to us, and so
whoa.
Between there were I think 5 or 6 of us in the car.
Is this a knock on the window, or you outside the car?
No, we got out to go buy beer, and we were all young and kind of whatever.
Yeah.
And some guy just kind of came up to us. He looked like he was pretty sick himself, trying to sell some so he could get some more for himself.
Really?
And so we bought it from him, and only 3 of us had paid for it. So only 3 of us did it, but that's all we needed. We just kind of did one bag and just finished it up.
And was it heavenly then, or was it just it was kind of that? It was all right.
Oh no, I knew I was hooked from the first time.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't start using it regularly right away, but prior to that, I was a big time cokehead.
At 17.
At 17, yeah.
Well, hold on here. Where did you, without saying exactly, where did you grow up? Were you a Chicagoland guy, or were you out of state?
Western suburbs of Chicago.
Western suburbs
about
of
20
Chicago.
miles west.
Yeah. Okay, so regular middle America, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
No kidding. So already a cokehead at 17. So that's why that wasn't that big of a stretch. You go, yeah, I'll put that up my nose.
Exactly. Yeah. And naturally growing up, I've dealt with depression, anxiety, and all that stuff. And I'm a pretty normally anxious kind of OCD type guy.
Me too.
So when I first did heroin, I'm just oh man, I felt more peaceful and more serene than I've ever felt in my entire life.
Really?
And you only get it that first time, because the rest of the time that more than any other drug is you're chasing that first time.
They say that I've heard that with crack too, where not the all the description what you got with that, but I had a buddy one time say that or somebody I knew, I can't remember if it was a buddy or not, but when he did crack, that it was so great that's what everybody chases, is that first one or something like that. But
in my experience, crack is always pretty good.
Crack is always pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't want to encourage any youths out there to be doing it, but whenever I've done it,
fuck you. You want to do crack, do crack. Nobody gives a shit. It's your fucking life. Do what you want to do. No, but I see what he's saying. He's trying to be a good human, but sounds like it's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, whenever I've done it, I've always gotten high off of it. I mean, there's times when you buy heroin or powdered cocaine where it's you just don't get high because it's not very good.
So another thing is that always would bother me. Dude, I was a weed head for years. I know that's nothing on the scale of anything, but the only problem that I always had with is dealing with drug dealers. Now, if you're you do weed, you smoke weed, you just go to a fucking dispensary or whatever the fuck it is, But what about that, man? Did you ever have any creepy fucking drug dealers that you had to cop from that you're just I fucking hate this guy? There's times I hated my weed dealer, but he's the only dude that I know that has good weed, and I got to go over there and he's a fucking creep.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there were guys I would hang out with all hours of the night that would start freaking out and stuff whenever they would do the drugs I was doing and stuff. They would start seeing shit on the walls and on the floor because they had been up for so long, or they would do PCP.
Yeah. Dude, I did ride share for years, and I picked up a guy that said he used to do PCP for a lot of years, older guy. And I go, what do you do when you're on PCP? He goes, you know what we used to do? I go, what? He goes, we used to watch cartoons. I go, what fucking cartoon would you watch? He goes, Speed Racer. Do PCP and watch Speed Racer. I go, that's what you'd watch? He goes, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So what would you, so okay, so when you're doing heroin, what do? You just sleep?
It's like living 1,000 lifetimes. I mean, it's just like,
1,000 lifetimes. What does that even mean, dude?
I don't even know, man.
What does that mean? At living 1,000 lifetimes? I don't understand that.
Well, everything starts to slow down, except music gets a little bit faster. But like, yeah, it's a lot of like nodding off, coming in and out of consciousness.
Just makes you feel. But it's a great feeling, though.
Very
right?
insular. Yeah, I mean, it's a great feeling.
So that's the problem with good drugs and shit, man.
But yeah, like to put a huge caveat on all this is like I am super lucky to be alive. Like I've overdosed like 3 times now.
How do you? It's okay when you overdose. What happens when you overdosed your 3 times? Like what's that mean? I know what overdosing is, but usually when you hear about overdose, and I know you can overdose without dying.
Yeah.
But when you hear about overdose, it goes bad. Did it go bad those 3 times for you?
Yeah, I woke up in the hospital each time.
Wow.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's bad. And another thing that's bad. Whether I don't know if it's bad for you, and this is like a touchy subject. Problem is, if you got family that love you,
oh yeah,
it's very hurtful.
Yeah.
So yeah, all you fuckers that want to do crack out there, you already decided to do it. If you got somebody that loves you, you better you're gonna hurt them. You're gonna hurt them.
I like the thing that keeps me from doing. Well, one of the things that keeps me from doing it now is like just the look on my mom's face.
Yeah.
When she like. When I saw her in the hospital and how like relieved she was, but how sad she was at the same time.
Because she knows the seriousness of what's going on with her son.
She can't even talk about it now without crying.
Oh, it's got to be so hurtful, dude. I got a baby at home right now, and I got a son that's 26, man. Yeah. So to think that, so that's why. That's one of the reasons why. But you are lucky that you fucking made it, dude. So the 3rd time, what made you go? I'm done.
Just the consequences too. Like, creativity is important to me. Like doing the stand up, or if it's like visual arts or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I don't believe in that drugs makes any creative pursuit any better. It doesn't make enjoying it better. I don't think. Like it makes it less pure. Yeah. Honestly, I think if you ask me.
Sure.
And
you know what, my wife, and I don't agree with this really that much at all, but. Where, like, when I'd smoke weed a lot, and I'd tell her, like, well, I'm getting jokes off it, and she goes, well, if you're really good, you wouldn't need that for that.
I kind of believe that.
And I understand, you know what? And I haven't smoked weed in probably like 4 years, and I was probably 3.5 years, and I was a huge, I love weed, and I still love weed and stuff like that. But there was, when I stopped smoking weed, that there was something in my head where it's like, let me see if I could write jokes off this. Yeah. And there's something to that you're trying to prove to yourself, like a small thing. I don't think I've ever really said that out loud, I don't think.
Yeah.
But that's something that's in my head.
Yeah, well, and I've tried to write, I've tried to perform on these drugs, and I've performed on heroin before. And
that's wild.
It takes all the joy out of it.
Really?
Like whether you have like, as you know, like whether you have a good or a bad set, there's something exhilarating about being up on stage, telling jokes in front of people.
Especially if you hit it out of the park.
Yeah,
you kind of want to be like an alive human.
Yeah, if you
to
kill,
take that in,
because
then that also helps. People don't realize that don't do comedy. That when you kill, it also it rolls over into your like next day or
absolutely.
Two. Just the same amount as like you honestly, maybe even bombing rolls into multiple days that you feel bad. Yeah. It does the complete opposite charge to you, where you feel like shit, and you're like, dude, So I see what you're saying, man, about that.
Yeah,
where it's, but I had that thought in my head where it's like, and also, you know what made me think about this that made me think where I go, you know what, dude, when you were a kid and you weren't on doing anything, you were funny then.
Oh, man.
So that's why I bring that up with you on like heroin. I mean, you were a funny guy and a creative guy before the fucking drugs, I would assume. It's in your spirit.
Yeah.
Like the human you are, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the best laughs I've ever had were probably in like middle school, just goofing around with your like dickhead friends and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all comedy is doing is trying to recreate those kind of laughs.
And later on in life, I remember when I first started doing comedy, and I wish I would have done it right out of high school.
Yeah,
I wish, because you're still a kid, you're still silly, you're still making fun of your dickhead friends and the lunch line and walking home, all the shit, and then you kind of become an adult, and then you start putting these walls up, and you start acting like an adult because you have to act like an adult, whatever all that shit is, and you got to kind of kick those walls back down to open. I don't know, man, but that's excellent, dude. That you fucking came out of the storm, dude.
Well,
how many years has it been?
It hasn't been as long as I'd like it to be.
Sure.
That I'd rather not say, but
Well, it's an ongoing thing, right?
Yeah,
it's
never.
never.
I'm going to be an addict for the rest of my life.
Forever.
That's just a fact.
Yeah.
And it's about what I'm doing to overcome that. But now, like when I'm not doing stand up, I'm doing stuff for my well-being as far as that goes. So
it is one thing, because I know with me too, man, like idle hands for me is fucking bad. If I don't stay busy, I'm in fucking trouble.
Absolutely.
Like my wife always says, like, why are you always doing this? Why are you always doing that? I can't, like if I stop dead in the water, I'm fucked up. First of all, I go up here, and I go fucking. It could go any direction. It can go depression. It can go fucking. It mainly is not good.
Yeah,
it's not good if I don't keep I have to trick my brain. Like, that's what I do. Nobody ever told me that, but I just know me personally what I have to do, and that's one thing I'm doing is tricking my brain.
So that's what I started doing. Besides, the creativity that really keeps me going. One thing I started doing besides just writing stand-up, is I actually just had a comedy article published for this website called End of the Bench Sports.
Nice.
Give them a little plug.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wrote this little article, 8 pros and cons of the universal designated hitter.
Yeah.
So that just got published last week. So I've been writing not just the stand-up, but also...
What's the number one pro of a designated hitter?
We're
talking baseball, right? We're talking baseball here, baseball. Designated hitter, which some people like. I'm not a huge baseball guy, but I know baseball because I've been around huge baseball guys. But some people that are like baseball purists, they fucking hate the designated hitter.
Oh yeah,
they hate the rule. They don't like it. That's not pure baseball. They want the pitcher to get out there and fucking hit.
Yeah, I totally.
Which I get that too.
I totally understand that. Like for people because this is the designated hitter was something like the universal designated hitter is something that they're trying to institute for this season and then going forward for both the National League and the American League.
Wait, the National League is trying to go designated hitter?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, it's all Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Which are on a lockout right now, right?
They're on a lockout now, right?
Which I see the designated hitter. One of the pros I would assume is more excitement because you might get a home run off it and you get a better hit off it possibly, opposed to maybe putting a pitcher out there, which I know there are some pitchers that can still hit. But sometimes, I assume. And
like Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, but you'd much rather have somebody like a fucking Manny Ramirez get in there like a fucking,
totally.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to make the game more exciting.
Yeah.
More home runs, try to get more of a youth fan base in there for people to watch. So I just kind of wrote this spoof article about it and they published it. So I've been trying to do that stuff to keep busy.
Yeah. Which is good because you're more than just a stand-up then. And also in this business, you kind of got to be. Don't worry, I don't know what that is, but you kind of got to be that. It's like anything. I mean, everybody has side hustles and stuff like that, and different things to generate money. But dude, for that's pretty. Are you a sports guy?
I would say so. Yeah, I'm like football, basketball, baseball. Those are kind of my sports. A little bit of hockey, but mostly those three.
So what do you think about Jalen or Juwan Howard slapping the coach the other day? What do you think about something like that?
What did he say?
What did he do? You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see that.
So Juwan Howard, Michigan's basketball coach, Michigan College or whatever university, they were getting beat by like 16 points with seconds left. And I don't know the play-by-play, but this side, I think what happened was one of the players for Wisconsin, they had the ball, they were throwing it in. His shoe came off, and he was going to tie his shoe, and the clock was coming down, so coach called a timeout, being up by 16, because his kid had to tie his shoe or whatever like that, and something with the shot clock also, or maybe the regular clock, and so he calls timeout. Juwan Howard got pissed at that because he thought like it's being disrespectful. But the other coach did it for there's some kind of rule, like there would only been like 4 seconds on the clock or something like that, and by him doing that, there's more seconds on the clock. Anyways, so Juwan Howard gets pissed at that, and for some reason, and then once the game's over, I think they come up to each other, and some people, depending on who you talk to, some people go, well, that Wisconsin coach touched Juwan Howard, and he shouldn't have touched him, and that's why Juwan Howard smacked him in the face.
Whoa.
In between people, but he tried to punch, but if you've seen a slow motion, he kind of just kind of whatever, and he didn't get him clean, but if he didn't have 2 people in front of him and 4 around him and stuff like that, he would have got him good. But really, what that coach, to other people that would say, that coach is just trying to grab his arm and say, hey man, we were doing this. The coach said he was trying to explain to him that I did that for the rule. No disrespect. But Juwan Howard was already on 10.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
So the big controversy is some people are going, fire that motherfucker, like maybe me, and then they go, no, they're just going to suspend him for the rest of the season, which is 5 games, and then he'll also show up in the tournament, which I assume, I don't know if they're in the tournament.
I have no idea.
But so that's what happened with Juwan. And the only thing I have, look, I don't care if every fucking game a coach punches each other in the face, but I don't care. But my whole thing is the guy's at work, he's fucking management, he's teaching fucking, whether you call these guys kids or not, but I mean, he is in a leadership role. And if you and I were at our job and we punched a fucking somebody that we worked with, first of all, we're getting arrested, we're getting charges put on us, and we're fucking definitely getting fired. Is what I'm saying.
You can't.
So to think that these guys, like, it's like, look, dude, you gotta have some kind of fucking standards, and I get it. You know, I mean, I'm old, dude. I remember when Bobby Knight would throw chairs at kids, and it ruined his fucking, like, he had that on him the whole fucking time. Yeah. But again, he gets 5 game suspension. I could care less. I'll give you my take at the moment when it's happening. I think that shit, you know, you can't do that. You can't.
Yeah, five games is more than fair. I think
you think it's more than fair for a slap punch? I mean, that's it. Okay,
well, I see what you're saying. He shouldn't be. I mean, he shouldn't, like you said, he shouldn't be hitting his coach. I mean, like, I don't know.
Oh, he didn't hit the head coach, because then by that time, the assistant coach that's probably much younger gets in there, he hit the assistant coach. I'm sorry.
Just no violence is kind of my policy.
Yeah, no violence. Well, because then I guess what happens is the other kids start fighting then. A couple Michigan, they all start throwing punches. Like 2 or 3 of them probably start throwing punches on 2 or 3
That's
so
dumb.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb, right? Dumb. It's not good for the game. Dude. I mean, you being a sports guy, remember when Ron Artest fucking jumped into the stands?
Malice at the Palace, yep. Malice at the Palace.
Yeah. There has been some good sports moments and shit like that, dude. I'm old. I remember when the Cleveland Browns were throwing fucking batteries and shit at Cincinnati and stuff like that. There are good moments, like there are nasty shit in moments, like, dude, when everybody knows about when Philadelphia booed fucking Santa Claus and stuff like that. Right. I mean, there are good stuff like that where it's like, you're a fucking scumbag, you know? But
Philadelphia, if you're listening, you're a bunch of scumbags.
Yeah. They got it. Yeah, they booed fucking Santa Claus, dude.
Yeah.
That is so. No kidding. So you're a sports guy, huh? So like, who's your teams then? Like, so you're a Bears fan?
Yeah. So I've been a lifelong, diehard, suffering Bears fan.
They're not terrible. Are you happy with Justin Fields moving forward?
It's too early to tell. Like, some people are saying he looks like a backup. I think those people are jumping to conclusions. I mean, like, we should have had
I don't think he looks like a backup. Backups
No.
You know, backups a lot of times they look like they just fold to the ground, or they're constantly throwing interceptions. They're making bad moves, it just looks not exciting. He doesn't have that.
I think he's got good potential, but we just got to put the pieces around him to succeed. I mean,
well, one thing is that they've had a problem with for years. I don't know what their offensive line was ranked this year. Their offensive line is always bad. Even when Jay Cutler was there, it was bad. It's like, guys, come on, like, just don't get one guy. Like, you need like 5 like guys to fucking and then have a backup squad for when they get hurt or they gotta like sub in.
Exactly. I mean, if we had some people out there protecting Fields, because he can make some pretty incredible throws.
That's right. And he seems like a winner. He's an athlete. Yeah. He's a winner.
He's got a good head on his shoulders.
He's got legs on him. He's got an arm.
Yeah.
He's not dumb. You know, so I mean, I feel like they're in a good position there. You know, I think one of the best things they did was get rid of that GM and that coach. That GM needed to go. That fucking GM, he needed to,
Ryan Pace.
He needed to go a long time ago, man.
Yeah. You can't screw up on 2 quarterbacks. Well, the jury saw it on Fields, obviously, and I kind of like Fields so far.
Yeah.
But man, if he missed on Fields, he fucked us for a long time.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people were mad ever since the Mitch Trubisky thing, which I just read an ESPN article today saying that Mitch Trubisky might get another chance as a starting quarterback this offseason.
Really? Where at?
Possibly. Well, there's so many places that need quarterbacks, you know, that he might. And, dude, Trubisky came into a Buffalo preseason game, and he didn't look like a backup. He looked like I remember last year when I seen that, I go, man, this guy looks good on a good team.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I mean, but, yeah, dude, I've been in Chicagoland now for 17, almost 18 years, and I'm a Cleveland Browns fan because that's where I'm from. But I do love the Chicago Bears also. Like, I want them to do well. They're just fucking frustrating, dude.
Well, yeah, they're a really frustrating team, but they're one of the. I mean, for me personally, it's just one of the most storied franchises in the NFL. You know what I mean? The Green Bay Chicago rivalry is like one of the best rivalries in sports. And when the Bears are playing good, I think they're just one of those teams where it's like when they're good, it's better for the league.
You know, one thing that bothers me that you bring up Green Bay and Chicago, how the hell does that little dinky town up north have 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks? They have Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and then the great city of Chicago. I've said it before. The great city of Chicago, who's their best quarterback ever?
Statistically, I think it's Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
And that's pathetic. Because, look, I know. As soon as Jay Cutler got here years ago, they go, he's got every throw in the bag or book or whatever. But whatever they would always say about that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's like, yeah, but he still didn't do shit. I mean, nobody would want Jay Cutler. I mean, I remember when he was on Denver, you go, yeah, he's got something, but...
Yeah.
Anyways, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to talk about, before we get out of here, man, I want to talk about, did you see the story? This is what I wanted to tell you, man.
Yeah.
Did you see the story of the teacher that baked her husband's semen into cupcakes and fed them to her kids?
What?
That's a true story, dude. She got 41 fucking years in prison, dude.
Good.
With no, she has to do 40 years before she's up on parole or whatever they call it, dude. She said her husband's the one that said we should do this, and then that's why she did it. But she's the one that brought these cupcakes with his cum in it to the class and let the kids eat the fucking cupcakes.
Did they do it as a joke?
I don't know.
Man, that is fucked up.
I don't know. Dude, they hit her with a bunch of shit, man. Child endangerment and shit like that.
Good. That's fucking disgusting.
What is wrong with teachers now, dude?
How old were the kids?
You know what? I did not look that up because I didn't look it up because it doesn't fucking matter. Because even if they are, I can see, because everybody in their head, they're thinking, if you gave it to a 7-year-old, you're a scumbag. But if you gave it to a 17-year-old, you're still a scumbag.
Yeah, that's really gross.
Fucking gross, dude. Yeah, she got 41 years, man.
Yeah, if they were 17, all these 17-year-olds now talk about eating ass all the time, so maybe for them it wouldn't be a big deal. But
I don't know why eating ass came around so much.
I just hate it as a topic is in comedies now. It's just so
Why? A lot
prolific.
of comedians are always talking eating ass?
Well, I remember there's always seems to be like a cycle of a common topic that comes through, and for a while that was one. So
eating ass, huh?
But it's gone. It's pretty much gone now. So
yeah.
But the kids still talk about it like it's a cool thing to do. Seems kind of gross to me, but what do I know?
Dude, I'm so old. I remember when all the guys didn't really eat pussy. Like, I remember when some guys were like, I never do that. I remember that. Like, I remember when I was like, I'm 46, so when I was like 20, there was guys who were like, I don't eat.
That's just selfish.
I don't get it, But I get it, dude. I mean, with everything on the internet now, I mean, that's everybody's always going to take it to the next level, dude. They're always going to take it to the next.
Yeah.
Especially like porn and stuff like that. I mean, dude, the one good thing about porn is that it's accessible. When I was a kid, dude, you had to get a fucking movie or a Playboy.
See, that's what I liked about it, was that it was like hidden and out of the way. Like you had to like sneak it onto a CD-ROM that you burned at your friend's house, and then you like took it home and like tried to get it on your computer without your parents finding out about it. Like I feel like it should be that hard to get, because then you feel like you've accomplished something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you've really like the nuts were harder. Like just
yeah.
Well,
because now it's everywhere.
Now it's just everywhere. Now I could pull it up right now and start playing it on like TV or something. You know what I mean? That's messed up.
Well,
it's not messed up, but
it's like everything. Once it's like everything. It's like once everybody could do it, it went everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like music. It's like at one time you had to fucking get a band together. Well, you're a music guy, right?
Yeah.
So I assume at one time you had to get you had to get band together. You had to find lead singers, the PA system, do all this shit. And then you had to eventually learn how to play songs and fucking get a gig, maybe get in front of an AR guy, maybe get a record deal, maybe not get shelved and actually turn. And then boom, now fucking what do you get? You fucking you get some kind of software and you fucking you're up on the internet.
Yeah.
That happened with the same thing with porn.
Yeah.
Where, dude, I remember years ago, dude, in Ohio where I worked at. Where I lived at, and I used to work for Rent-A-Center, Rent-A-Center. So I would always go to these like fucking people's houses, and we went to this fucking white trash house, and they had a porn set in the back, and you're talking this is like 1997, 97 or something like that, and they were like but dude, they were making money and they were doing porn in a small town America in Ohio, dude, and and this
creating
was
jobs,
creating shit, man, creating jobs. But they were the first people I ever seen doing porn like that. Now they got OnlyFans. Is OnlyFans still allowing women to do or men and women do shit like that? Because remember they were saying that like no more.
Oh, I heard about that. I don't know if that. I thought I heard that was just kind of a big nothing. That they were banning some like super extreme stuff that was like not really happening. But I think it's still like,
dude, the fact that fucking like people would go to school to be a dentist. and for all those years and learn all that knowledge. And because, dude, I doing rideshare, I found out picking up dental students. The average dental student that gets out of school, their average debt's $400,000.
Jesus
That's their
Christ.
average debt for a dental student. Yeah, but they make money faster, is what these people told me, than a doctor. A doctor has to still takes a few years and something like that.
I've heard
Dentist,
that too.
if they get it rolling, boom, they can make money almost like right away, pretty
Wow.
good and stuff like that. That's why it's not a big deal. But to think that like folks that, and I know that's way different, but then there's also some chick that just got right out of high school, or just turned 18, that's smoking hot or has a fucking thing, and she could do an OnlyFans and make fucking $200-300 grand or something like that. That's what's fucking crazy.
Yeah, get your money.
Yeah.
However you got to get it.
Or how there's dudes that bought crypto. There's like teenagers that bought fucking Dogecoin when it wasn't even it wasn't even a cent, and then within a year or so it goes up to 71 cents, and if they put 1,000 on it, they just made 71 grand or something like that. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an insane world we live in now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's just along for the ride.
Yeah. So what's up with you, man? So now we're coming out of COVID. I just heard that Lori Lightfoot fucking is taking off the restrictions. You hear that?
Oh, is she?
Yeah, I guess they're. This is my wife told me before I left, man, that she's taking out the restrictions, so it's going to be opening up most likely. Because you know what sucks, dude? For people that don't know that, like, even doing open mics for comedy, I seen that you had to either show that you. There's one open mic in Chicago that on the posting it says we either need a 48-hour COVID test or you got to see your Vax card to do an open mic.
Well, I think that's
because of the city, right?
That's because of the city, yeah. Because it's the indoor places that are like if you're going to any of these bars or anything, they're requiring you to like. And I'm vaxxed and whatever, so I don't really care so much about that. But, but it'll be nice once we kind of open things
back up because another thing is there's not a lot of mics going on.
Yeah,
as much as there used to be before COVID. I mean,
before COVID in Chicago,
a city like Chicago. I mean, how many open mics do you think Chicago did? The whole Chicagoland had going on in 1 week.
Oh, in 1 week?
Yeah, to tell people out there, like, because, dude, I grew up when I started doing comedy 20 years ago in Ohio, or less than 20 years ago.
Yeah,
there was 3 open mics in the whole Cleveland, Akron area, and you had to drive 50 minutes here, 40 minutes there. And it might not even be rolling on the nights that you fucking go in there. How many mics, if you had to guess?
Man, there had to be like 30 or 40 or something like that, in a week.
Yeah. How many comedians do you think are in Chicagoland? If you had to guess. I always wonder about
like
this
active?
number. Active.
Active, maybe couple hundred, maybe that are actually actively doing it. I mean,
sure.
I don't know how many people are in these groups and stuff, but it's got to be like you see once you start going around and stuff for a while, you see the familiar faces, the people that are always there or getting booked or like at performing at the mics and all that stuff. So it's got to be a couple hundred, maybe 500 or something like that.
You ever had what's your worst moment that you ever had on stage? You ever have a bomb moment? You ever have a blank moment where you blank? I've blanked before. I blanked in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, dude, at JD's Comedy Cafe.
I've never. Oh, that sucks.
Oh, dude, fucking small comedy club that probably held 150 people. Probably 145 people in there.
Yeah, I did a like a 15-minute opening spot at a club in Valparaiso, Indiana.
Yeah. The Drop.
Not the Drop.
Yeah.
Market Lounge.
Yeah, Market Lounge.
And I bombed. It's a great club. I love going there. I need to go back there again.
Why do you think you bombed?
I leaned too hard into my drug material.
Yeah.
When I should.
You think that turns off people?
It can.
Yeah.
It can.
Yep. But for people that are listening, like, there's a lot of material that can turn off people.
Sure.
Like, especially
everybody's got their thing.
Especially if it's not like so a lot of shit can turn off people. Yeah, like I'm a dirty comic. I turn off people just being too fucking dirty. Some people, like most audience, don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
You're doing too much. Yeah. Like where it's like, hey, bring it in a little bit more. So no shit. So you bomb there.
Oh yeah, I bombed for like 15 minutes straight.
That's the
worst.
And
the funniest thing was before, like I was there with a buddy of mine, and before we went up, because the booker originally promised us 15 minutes apiece and then the headliner.
Yeah.
So when we got there, he's like, "Oh yeah, you guys will each do 10, and then we'll have the headliners." And we actually asked him for more time, and then just with that extra time, we just bombed the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I did bad in Youngstown, Ohio one time, probably fucking 15 years ago. Same thing, man. Big fucking crowd, and but it's a thing, dude. I mean,
it's gonna happen to everybody.
It's gonna happen.
It should make
dude.
you better.
It should make you better. Dude. I've had where I don't do well, and I talk to myself off and on for like a day. Like,
yeah.
Where I'm in the shower, like, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Or like I'm making dinner and my wife, and I go, motherfucker. And my wife goes, what's the matter with you? And I go, nothing. And she goes, you're fucking crazy, man.
Oh, or if you like forget a joke that you really wanted to do when you're killing, that's a terrible feeling too.
100%, man. Yeah. Mike, let's get the fuck out of here, man. Tell people
man.
where they can find you, dude.
Find me on Twitter, Instagram at Mike Pickerl, Facebook too. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Guys, Bustin' Balls Podcast on most platforms. If you like the podcast, please share it. If you don't, totally get it. Thank you so much for listening. Bustin' Balls.